Hey folks, Duke CT here back once again. And, well, I got something for you, a little update. I'm going to get to the point of this video. The Duke City Lions live podcast will be on at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Why? Because, well, I'm going to be going out with my sister and everything else. Going to see the creator of Astro Boy and everything. Maybe watch a movie or what have you, creator of Astro Boy. And, just like I think it's going to be like a Q&A or something. We're going to take some pictures. And, hopefully I can get some nice stuff and put it on Facebook and what have you. Maybe talk about my experience on YouTube and everything else. If y'all want me to leave a comment about that. And anyway, I will be, live always doing Duke City Lounge at 4 o'clock Eastern this week. But next week, back on schedule, back on the regular thing. We're going to be doing the Duke City Lounge at 6 p.m. Friday. As always. So anyway, hopefully you will stay tuned for that. Anyway, let's get into this conversation as the title suggests about the the Zima Ion Jesse Sorensen, or how Jesse Sorensen, his whole breaking Jesse Sorensen. They're using that as a storyline. Now, I know some people are going to be really upset by this, and I understand that. You don't want to use something like a real-life injury, something very serious as something like as a neck injury, and use a storyline purpose, especially if Jesse Sorensen was paralyzed in that whole thing. But fortunately, it's not the case. Jesse Sorensen has moved on his own. He can move his arms, and he can move his legs. Feels the legs, and he actually has walked with assistance and everything else before he left the hospital. In fact, he's at his home right now. Getting better, and hopefully he will be fine. Hopefully by the end of the year, or maybe next year. Hopefully he gets the full recovery, and he can not only walk again, because I hope he does. I hope he walks again, but not only walk again. I actually come back and compete, because I really did like Jesse Sorensen, especially during the X Division, tournament stuff that he was doing with earlier this year, trying to get that fatal four-way. Remember that? I really liked some stuff, and I didn't mind the football stuff he was doing. It was I think it was pretty good stuff, and hopefully he comes back better, stronger, faster, and hungrier, and hopefully doesn't rush himself back too much. I don't want to get him. See him re-injured. Anyway, now, like I said, I don't think this whole I don't think Zima Ion, using this as a push to get Zima Ion really much heat is not new. I mean, this happened a couple years ago with Brock Lesnar and Hardcore Holly, if you remember that, back in 2004. And 2003, 2004, pushing Brock Lesnar. It was 2004 and 2005, Well, it was 2003. Had Brock Hardcore saying, "You broke my neck, and I'm gonna break yours." That sort of thing. If you remember that, and everything else, if you and that sort of thing, if you remember that. Also, did you remember the back in the day, Chris Benoit broke Sabu's neck, and he became the crippler on ECW, so like that really helped propel his career and everything else like that. So it has been used and all that good stuff. I mean, in fact, wrestlers, taking people out with injuries and everything else have been going, if you want to talk about just injuries and stuff, like, for example, Batista used that against John Cena back in 2010. You say, "I broke your back," and everything else, fighting against you in their last match back in 2008, if you remember that. Heel turns, heel turns and heel turns, and increasing the heel of someone's overpowerness and everything else has enhanced people's careers and everything else. It might, and it is somewhat. It's not my. It is somewhat tasteless in that fact. But if both sides agree to it and saying that, you know what, I'm okay with it, and both sides okay with it, and honestly, at the end of the day, the person who was injured comes back. He's 100%. He comes back with revenge, and actually, you build up and you say, "I'm going, have a good revenge story." For, like, say, with Jesse Sorensen, hopefully can come back, and you build on that as well. That sort of thing. That is something hopefully they can do and build, Jesse Sorensen back up. But, I can see why some people will not like this storyline because it is, well, tasteless and a bit tasteless and classless. Using it as a storyline to propel someone, what if Jesse Sorensen really got injured or really was paralyzed and, he couldn't walk again, yeah, that would have been really crossing the line. But since we hear Jesse Sorensen is, getting better, and he might be able to, move and walk again without, hopefully, like in 5 or 6 months, he can be walking around. But, did the doctor say, like, it's going to take him a year to get him back, and he has to rehab, so we don't know how long that's going to be. So, that's going just to him to heal and rehab and get back in the ring shape. It's going to be a whole, year, maybe year and a half before him getting completely back 100%. So, since he is a young guy, like he's like 21 or 22, so hopefully Jesse Sorensen can come back. But anyway, I have no problem, using this as a storyline. This has happened before, and if you don't like it, I can see why. And leave comments, video responses, and everything else like that. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. Dixie T here. Peace and love. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Later.